A warm welcome to one and all present here. I'm Twisha Raji from the CSBS department, taking immense pride in being today's host. We've gathered here for a debate session on the topic, should students be allowed to pick their own curriculum? Let me begin by introducing today's debaters. On the proposition team, we have Induja from CSBS department, Naprajat from CSE department, and Harshvardhan from AI and DS department. On the team opposition, we have myself, Twisha Raji from CSBS, Sindhuja from AI and DS, and Atik Hussain from CSBS. Moving on to the format of the debate. Each speaker will be given about 4 minutes to present their stance in alternating order. That is, first speaker from proposition, followed by the first speaker from the opposition, and so on. This will be followed by a round of reply speeches where each speaker will be given about 2 minutes to tackle their direct opponent's arguments in reverse order, starting from the third speaker of the opposition. Without further ado, I call upon Induja from the team proposition to present their stance.
A very warm welcome to one and all present here. The Indian education system, 3 words that send a shiver down the spine of every student in a 2,000-mile radius. A system which has been responsible for pumping machines into the workforce. A system in whole which is in dire need of change. A good afternoon to one and all present here. I am the first speaker from Team Proposition, and today I will be talking to you about the failure of the current education system and how the proposition system will make up for the drawbacks of the current system. For the sake of the debate, we'd like to define a few terms. We define curricula as the set of subjects that the students will pursue in their degree. We define bounds of freedom later in my speech. I'd like to take a moment to elaborate on what each of our speakers will be highlighting today. I, as the first speaker, will propose a model of education, and I will be stressing on how the proposed model is going to cater to the actual needs of students. Speaker 2 will highlight on why our proposed system is bound to produce talented youth. Speaker 3 will be magnifying a few holes in our current system, which will ultimately convince you as to why we should adopt this motion. First, let us talk about why we are discussing this today and why this is important. The current system that we are undergoing is quite restrictive, right? We don't have much choice to pick what we want to pursue. Today's dynamic world needs a dynamic form of education that allows flexibility and adaptiveness. Our current system makes an assumption that every discipline of study is completely different from one another. It assumes that every student will take a discipline and they will want to stick to it for 4 whole years. And it also makes an assumption that every student are very sure about their career decisions. Surprise, surprise, ladies and gentlemen, we are humans. We just cannot remain in the same state for long, nor does our world allow us to do these days. Disciplines have come to overlap each other these days. So we are at a place where our skill set must extend far and wide. As students, I think we're all very keen on taking this on, but unfortunately, our education system is the only obstacle in our way. The consequences of this, Speaker 3 will elaborate upon. Now, what we, the proposition, suggest is a change towards a more liberal curriculum, where we would allow students to pick the subjects they will study in their higher studies, which would eventually produce talented youth and improve the employment figures of our country. Our model makes mandatory the core subjects that are necessary to be awarded the degree that the student has chosen. Once the core education is complete, the students are free to explore their subjects of interest. These interests are collected and reviewed by a council of student representatives. These councils will collect all these details and collaborate with experienced faculty of each institution and decide upon the arrangement of these courses. So the courses that are requested in majority will be arranged within the university, or a subject matter expert might be brought in from outside to teach the students. Students who have opted for courses that were not highly requested will have the option to either switch to a course that is being offered for the majority, or pursue their interest in the form of an online self-learning platform with credit transfer. In this way, students are ensured to be provided with what they want to pursue. This system allows for freedom and flexibility, about which our Speaker 2 will discuss. In essence, our model is one which gives responsibility to students. One, their in which they are actually in control of the path their careers take. We thus instigate a significant improvement in the involvement of the subjects the students study. We also ensure the students a wider range of career options that they can get into. A significant advantage in this system is the prospect of inclusion of new subjects. So this renewed form of education is going to open up access to a lot of jobs that the student would prefer. Ladies and gentlemen, behind every subject chosen by a student, there is a difference. Differences in gender, maturity, personality, interests, hopes, dreams, abilities, life experiences, situation, family, friends, peers, language, ethnicity, social class, cultural, probable and possible futures, certain indefinable qualities, all combined in a dynamically, continuously evolving base, so complex that they lie beyond our understanding. And my fellow opponents are either unable or unwilling to grasp these implications of these differences and the complexity. They beg to treat us as a given, as a one person, differentiated by only the year in which we study. They insist to put us all in the same box and that we'll be fine. But we, the proposition, believe in responsibility. We believe that a student must be given the power to choose, the power to decide his or her future, a power that ultimately matters the most. Supremely proud to propose. Now I call upon Krishna Raji from the opposition to present their stance.
Learning is never done without errors and defeat, said Vladimir Lenin. So what really is education? Skills, have set a staple curriculum already to ease it for the students. It can so happen that a student might not feel confident in certain subjects regarding their major and might want to skip that. But to earn a degree in some field, you are expected to be competent at a certain level and know certain things.
All right, we'll wait for Trisha to come back. Until then, we'll have Naprajit from Team Proposition to present his stance.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Naprajit. I'm from CSE B, and I'm here to present what I think that all of you will agree with. An education system that puts the student before the teacher or the degree. Now, listen, I know every one of you took engineering for two reasons. Number one, you took it out of your passion so that you can pursue it or learn something that you like, or you took it for your profession to make tons of money because someone told you that engineering makes a lot of money. Or there's the third category of students who were forced to join engineering out of no other choice. So yes, so here's a simple question. Would you rather study an engineering degree that gives you full flexibility of the courses that you want to choose and you want to enjoy and learn, or would you rather study a prefixed, pre-built education system, or more like a course structure that has been the same for 70 years? I propose to you the fully flexible credit system. One of the most incredible things of this system is, of course, the ability for the individual to choose whatever field they want. Now, of course, it isn't mandatory that an engineering student, say someone like a computer science student, should only learn computer programming, because we are being taught other subjects that aren't computer programming, while certain things like web development and app development are segregated into clubs, which make it an extracurricular activity, not a main curriculum activity. This makes it extremely boring, and over a period of time it becomes dangerous for the individual, because they can't now they can't stand here and look at the difference, whether they are doing this for themselves, whether they're doing this for society, or whether they're doing it for their parents or money. All of these are so so very valid reasons that many universities across the world have adopted this flexible credit system. So what does it have? So guys, you know your core subjects, right? The 6 subjects that you learn today in your classrooms every day are your core subjects. These are the subjects that are prescribed by the university and are mandatory to for the student to learn so that they can pick up an engineering degree. But I ask you a simple question. What is a mechanical engineer who wants to join an automobile company have to do with Python? He's going to join an automobile company. He's going to make cars. What does he have to do with Python? The same way, an AI student has completely nothing to do with physics. What am I going to do by learning the structure of an atom? Absolutely nothing. And that's the sad reality of our education system. We don't have choice. But in a flexible credit system, you are given the choice to choose between different subjects that have the same credit count. This allows the individual to pick the subject that they like the most and drop the subjects that they don't like as much. This also allows the individual to be multidisciplinary. So, for example, it isn't necessary that a computer student should just be a computer student or a computer engineer. This student may be interested in management, science, research, and other various things. Other various fields of interest like arts. Arts is something that a lot of us are interested in. We like speaking, dancing, singing, but engineering kills the talent in an individual, and that's the hard reality. Now, what is the fundamental issue here? Are we going to blame our teachers? Absolutely not. Your teachers are just as helpless as you are. You might have heard your teacher saying, I know this may seem weird, but you have to learn it, no other go. They are just as helpless as you are, teaching you a subject that they know you will not use for the rest of your life. Okay, so the teachers are not at fault. Who are we supposed to blame? Are we going to blame the university? No. There's also an error there again. The university acts upon the basis of industry requirements. It just doesn't update those requirements. So, for example, do you know that in physics, for students who want to specialize in a special branch of engineering, they're still taught general physics. And I can understand teaching the basics of physics to the students, but teaching everything to everyone generalized and then teaching it again to specialize is an utter waste of time. But in a flexible credit system, a student is given the option to study the way he wants. For example, I know none of you like reading theory. No, absolutely no one likes reading theory. But I know everyone is interested in going to the lab. Everyone is interested in getting involved with projects. And that's the truth. In a flexible credit system, spend your credits to be a part of a project. Spend your credits in a practical lab. Encourage practical learning. This is but one of the example of the advantages that a flexible credit system offers. Other advantages include choice of timings, which allows you to choose when you want to learn, not when someone else wants to teach you. It allows you to select the order of courses for each semester. It allows you to choose the number of courses per semester. I know all of you are stressed out by 6 courses a semester. How about cutting that down to 5? How about cutting that down to 4? How about grouping up easy courses into 7 or 8 easy courses into a single semester, while branching it down to only 2 courses, which are super difficult, into one semester? Sounds nice, right? How about planning your own academic calendar and your own timetable? I know that sounds nice. Getting up when you want, learning when you want will definitely help you keep the topics very fresh in your mind. Of course, I talked about being interdisciplinary. It also allows you to balance your curriculum between science, research, management, arts, humanities, etc., etc. One of the biggest things that you can do here is the amount of learning that you pursue is limited up to you. You can spend your summer holidays in college learning stuff if you want, or you can have fun. It's up to you. You know what? Another thing, allowing you to change your group if you think you made a mistake, which is very important, my friends. Imagine you joined computer science expecting something, but you got something else in return. No one's going to blame you. You didn't know in advance. You're not a college student before you join college. So a simple statement, just swap over to any other group. And of course, you might say, well, that wastes 1 year of my career. No, it doesn't. In a flexible credit system, you get that 1 year as a diploma, which just adds to your resume. So you might get a BE degree in automobile or EEE or ECE engineering, but your resume will still say a diploma in computer science.
Naprajit, please wrap up in the next 30 seconds. Your time is up.
Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. You want to pursue research? Go ahead. Projects? Go ahead. Do what you feel like. Learn. Score at your own pace, which is a very huge advantage to the interested student. Now I would like to call upon Sindhuja from the opposition team to present her views on this topic.
Yeah, thank you, Naprajit. Hi guys, I'm Sindhu from CSE department. I'm in the side like we already do have freedom. Yes, we do have freedom. Because of our curriculum, we are financially independent, even in the college days itself. Why to say college? Nowadays, most of the students are earning while studying in school. How come it's possible? Only because of the norms of the schools. If they leave you as a free bird, then they won't learn anything. While crushing up steps, they will get to handle the situation. This enhances their problem-solving skills, leadership, and more. A real-time example for this. If we get 1 month studying holiday for exam, then what will students do? They will procrastinate until the previous day for the exam. But if you have a limited number of days, then everyone will score high marks because their mind will set and their heart will say like, no, we should not waste the time. You can see the difference, right? You don't know the value of time until it leaves you. You start to respect when you don't have anything with you. This is human psychology. Live in the present. Do not waste today worrying what will happen tomorrow. Embrace your true spirit. Don't fixate on what you want. Live with what you have. Knowingly or unknowingly, you will automatically get what you have wished for. I know that you do feel that why aren't they allowed us to pick our own curriculum until our middle school? So because of that, do you think our curriculum bans law? You know one thing, none of the country's education can be the Indian curriculum, especially the one in Tamil Nadu. Even the last year, we all know that CBSE, Central Board of Secondary Education, have used Tamil Nadu board books for their reference. We have lots of libraries. Then why can't they refer those they own? Because all those information inside our curriculum is too precious as like as retirement. I will say that we already have freedom. If not, then which type of freedom are you expecting? I accept that waking early in the morning, 8 hours of continuous classes, weekly assessments makes us to get frustrated. But why are you guys seeing that as a burden? See that in a way which practices for our future, as this is the training ground. Remember, we have 2 eyes. I repeat, we have 2 eyes. So we can see the same thing in 2 different ways. But we are supposed to balance those. See, you can enjoy the whole lifespan, but enjoyment is not alone life. It's part of life. There should be a hurdle at some point, no matter what it is, to make our journey adventurous and thrilling. Remember, if your life is going smooth for a long time, then I'm damn sure that you are on a wrong path because you are unable to learn the right things. Hey guys, always, why are you reading a successful lessons? You will get only success stories. Read failure books because you know how to handle that failure if it comes to you. See, bunking the classes, all times in the ground, sports, culturals are not alone freedom. Freedom is something which is man's capacity to take in hand his own development. It is our capacity to mold ourselves. Although we have to take part in compulsory subjects such as maths, English, science, these subjects are made compulsory to prepare us for the future when we don't have teachers behind us providing the help and support we need. As you know, wherever we go, these 3 subjects plays a vital role, whatever the stream might be, either medical, engineering, architecture. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you so much for your very big sound speeches. I hope pretty much everyone would have forgotten my name. My name is R. Harshvardhan because we have been talking for a long time about these topics. So I would really like to cover some flaws in our system. Just think about this. We used to have some extra classes, just like TT, soft skills. Those classes are usually for us to get enhanced or get about reskill about the interview, how to introduce ourselves in an interview. It's just for our placement things that is offered by our college and so universities. Some universities they also do. Just think about my domain is data science. I have taken the course called as artificial intelligence and data science. So my domain will mainly go and progress only in mathematics and computer science. There's nothing that could go out of these two main domains. So I don't know why I have to read physics or chemistry. As Sindhuja said that we have to learn these three core subjects, which may be useful in our future. But this doesn't make sense. A medical student doesn't have to read physics and chemistry, and so an engineering student of my course or CEC department or IT department doesn't really have to read these physics and chemistry subjects. And so engineering graphics, that's just so sucks so much because I used to sleep in classes, in our online classes. That happens to me, but I don't see an end to this because when you have to apply for a PG degree, you really have to have a good GPA, in which it also affects from your first year and to the fourth year. So if I doesn't score well in my first year, because if I doesn't score well in my first year, it is mainly because I don't like those subjects. I don't like physics, I don't like chemistry, and I suck at physics, the engineering graphics. I don't like these three subjects, but these three subjects mainly take part in my GPA. I need my GPA mark to score more than 8. If then only they will select for me in their universities if we try to go abroad to do PhDs. So this doesn't really work in our curriculum. And so these are some unimportant, unwanted subjects. Just because my course comes under the Bachelor's of Engineering, I have to do this in the first year. This is a new course. As you know, this course has been just introduced this year. And so CSPS also just introduced this year. It doesn't know the portions, and these portions were really made up from the Anna institutes as we are the happily aided colleges. So just think about this. Our domain, I specifically mentioned my course domain. This doesn't really go out of maths and computer science. Why should I read physics and chemistry and so engineering graphics? These three subjects are not really important for me and never going to be used in my future life. And so secondly, this also says to a conclusion that we don't really need some non-subjective things that are out of our course. And so in our curriculum, they doesn't really know what's important and what's not. Let's take an example. You have selected this course just by your passion or someone else's references. So after you have selected your course, before you are selecting your course, you will have a little bit of knowledge about this course, and you wanted to go in depth about this knowledge of this course. So you'll ask your friends, family, and more so YouTube. It will show lots of suggestions. Like one will talk in Hindi, Kannada, Tamil, blah, blah, blah. So you'll want to know about some facts about your course. Just think about a job thing. Okay, you have to go into a job. You need to really know about the domain or which jobs you're going to get placed. If I am a data scientist, I really want to get in which companies I could be recruited as a data scientist, in which company I could be recruited, or which company I could try out of my reach. That is more than data scientist, with this degree. What can I try and how should I approach? How should I approach for internship? These questions are also in your mind. Okay, but you doesn't know the answer because you are not guided and you are not given the info about this. We could have a class like this because our teachers and our fellow colleagues, higher colleagues, also have an info about this, has an experience about this. So they could really teach us, because instead of getting it from YouTube and some parents, usually our relatives used to say, why did you take engineering? You always used to work for Zomato. I usually asked that pool. So some really voted for Zomato and all. So that really happens in our family side. So we can't trust on family sides. Just some may help, but some may also say negative thoughts about it. But we need someone to guide, to give an in-depth about our job working experience also. But we doesn't have someone like that in our college time and so in our family things. So our college and our curriculum should really focus on this. Focus on what the student needs and what the student doesn't need. But our curriculum isn't focusing on that thing. Our curriculum is following the rules that are regulated by the universities. The rules that are regulated, some things they should read about this. Doesn't care whether they are useful to them in the future. I don't care. They have to read. They have to score marks. This is what happens in our curriculum. I rest my case here. Thank you. I would like to call Atik Hussain, my bro. Please come on stage. It's gonna be like King versus Godzilla.
Sure, bro.
Bro, I will have the Stormbreaker, please.
Yeah.
It will be Godzilla. Godzilla went rogue, please.
No, I don't like the reptile, actually.
Bro, it's a lizard.
Okay, yeah.
You ate my banana. That's why I'm there to hit you. You ate my banana.
Okay.
That's why
Atik,
I'm there to
please
hit you.
present your stance now.
Yeah, okay, serious face. So, before we proceed, like, you know what? We really don't need freedom for choosing our curriculum. I think we have enough freedom already to be misused. That's it, guys. I wish I could conclude now, but alas, my misguided, lost friends here, no matter how unrealistic their cause appears to be, they want to stand for something which they don't really understand. We honestly think we know everything when we haven't seen the whole wide world out there, because we are either too blind or too focused into something. I understand your views and everything, but you guys, right? You need to really open your eyes. It's basically teenage, I get that. So we always end up taking decisions too quick, following our desires, not our purpose. So let me tell you what happens if you follow your desires. It's just a quick story guide like that, storyline. You take a particular courses in a curriculum, okay? So and dreaming in your fairyland that you will be the princess adored by millions. Then you study your curriculum only to realize what a terrible mistake you had done. Years wasted here. Then years wasted to learn something else so as to survive in this terrible, wide, beautiful world. Yeah, I remember, Naprajit. You said like, we have like 1 year diploma and all. What's it going to be useful when we have 1 year diploma? That's a question I ask. Like, again, you're going to remind. It's not the certificates and the marks and everything you carry. It's what you learn. That's what you're going to carry with you throughout your life. And you have the diploma certificate just for a show. That's nothing to the resume, if I have to be precise. And at the end, you lose everything, but come up with a world-class recipe for fast food franchise to run, like KFC, fingers licking good. Are you really serious? This is some real life we are talking about, not some stupid fairy tale or a dream. Wake up, guys. We need curriculum based on their views, not ours. By the term there, I mean that a board meeting including some very wise and some smart people there. And it's not run by some stupid Trump-like people. And they have provided enough freedom already. And only people blinded by mist of this world would still demand for more freedom. Not just to ruin themselves, but to ruin the coming generations also. Now let's talk some real deal here. Now let me do some real talking here. You pick your own curriculum in a world insanely revolving in various fields as days goes by. And if things go downhill, because of one or more than millions to million reasons, you don't stand a chance. To be precise. Or what? You think you will rise to richness just by wishing? Come on, even that's a fairy tale there. You people watch Indian movies, see them pursuing their desires and ending up successfully in their fields, and you people take motivation from that when it's hardly gonna happen. I say hardly, I mean clearly it's not gonna happen. Just like life is a lie. I mean, literally it's a lie, but it's a beautiful one. Beautiful lie. Those movies are a big fat lie. And that's why they appear to be desiring, like wishing to be going like that. Now let's put some real deal and effect into effect. Why we should let the grown-ups handle a cause that is fragile and equally strong such as this. No matter how smart we are, we lack the wisdom they have. And yet we demand for freedom. We might think we are always right, and that's because of our overconfidence. We have overconfidence, agree, and yet we demand freedom. We have zero experience in this field, and yet we talk about wanting freedom when we already have generously enough of it. To us, to the youth, we all see this all glamour around this world. Our sight is covered with this terrible mist called entertainment. We hardly see the purpose of our life due to this mist, and yet we demand freedom. We always end up taking decisions without thinking twice. Always hasty decision. And when we realize what a terrible trap we have fell upon, and yet we want freedom, and yet we demand freedom. In this age, particularly teenage, we easily get depressed due to various things. Agree with me. Even if we have the luxury of everything, we end up making wrong choices in our life. And yet we demand freedom. My question to you is, guys, it's simple. Don't we have enough freedom already? And doesn't it appear to like we are asking too much in the name of freedom? And we guys know more clearly what comes to of such deeds. Generally speaking, I don't want any of us to be at the end of their days, like end of their life, and regretting I could have done that or this, regretting their choices, regretting the time they wasted, and finally regretting about their life. When board has set up a curriculum, generously accept it, because they have been in our shoes and they don't want us to do something stupid with our lives. They are working hard, seriously pondering upon their decisions as it will have a great impact on our life. They are doing for better cause for us only. Perfectly designed curriculum with lots of backup if we couldn't get clicked in something we desire. There are lots of backup there. You say, I hate EG, I hate... Come on, stop that. We have so many things we could be useful. Because at one point of our life, it could be useful. Even if we have children, we could teach them, see, EG, we have to take this angle and that one. Now you're saying it won't be useful and all. I clearly find that terrible idea. And you, my friends, let me tell you this.
Please wrap up in 30 seconds.
Sure. Yeah. We know what we want. This is our mindset. We always think like, yeah, we know what we want. But we don't care how hard they work to set up our curriculum. Those board chairman people out there. I take that as an insult in the name of freedom. I hope I'm clear now. Only a misguided one still demand for freedom, and I pray that you and we all be guided in straight path. Before I conclude, let me say this. We don't want to run with time. We want time to run with us. Thank you.
Next, I call upon Raju to present her stance again. Sure.
I think she's automatically disconnected due to her Wi-Fi problems. Can we have a clash? Pretty much we are having clash with our co-mates, but then she's having some fight with her Wi-Fi problem.
Okay, I think as a result of time constraints, we would like Harsha to go ahead and present his counter-argument to the opposition's claims. Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you so much, Naprajit. I'm here to counter my co-friend, my brother's argument.
There will be 1 minute of time for all of us to draft your counter arguments. So we'll time 1 minute from now.
Sure.
Meanwhile, if Tusha joins, let her present her stance.
Let the clock timer begins. So I'm right here going to oppose my brother's argument. Actually, you said about freedom, and our elders used to decide their options wisely. Where if they have decided their options wisely, there would have not been this debate at all. Okay, they haven't made their options and their presentations wisely in our engineering system and our curriculum system. So basically, we already have our freedom. If we have our freedom, we should have raised our voice and talked about this. But then the curriculum hasn't changed yet. That is the problem with this. We own this freedom. We own everything that we are given. This is our freedom. We was got by it. Okay. So when we talk about this, the curriculum doesn't listen and never even try to change about the facts and the negatives of this system. This is what happens. So if you say about freedom that we are given is enough, it's not. Freedom is not something that you're given in an amount of quality or quantity. It should be given, and you could raise your voice and raise your presentation and so your perspectives when you really wanted to see. So I really wanted to see that there are some really unwanted subjects that some of us are really facing that the curriculum has to accept. I don't know why I would use my quantum physics knowledge in my data science question. I don't know that I have no sense, and it doesn't make sense at all, bro. Doesn't make sense. I don't see physics and chemistry or engineering graphics in my sense of expertise. That really happens to me. So the elders are not
wrap
right
up in the
all
next
the time.
30
Elders
seconds.
are really right.
30 seconds more.
Thank you so much for the reminder. Thank you. This really happens. It's like the Oscar Awards show. When they have to finish their speech within 1 minute, like the horns blow. That happens right here. So, see, the elders are really wise. They have a lot of experience. They really have a lot of experience, but there is a bit of generation gap. This is what we call as generation gap, because some things are different in their time and some things are really different in our time. In our time, education is something that should not be wasted. Our time is really being wasted by reading some some unwanted subjects that we shouldn't or we really don't want to read. So at this moment, the elders and our curriculum is really wrong. They are not wise enough to really see the things that we are facing and the time that we are wasting by reading these unwanted subjects. Okay. I'd really like to wrap up and thank you so much for the reminder, please. I'd really like to call Sindhuja from the team
I'm sorry,
opposition.
Atik has to present his reply stance.
Still, bro, you want to fight? You want to have a part 3 fight?
Atik, you may begin now.
I finished part 2. The final showdown. Come on, bro. Everyone wants to know. India wants to know.
Yeah, come on. So hear me, India.
Yeah.
Like I said, we know everything.
Actually,
We pretend as if we know everything. But the thing is that not a single person goes there and decides like what we want to study. We as a single person, we think that, okay, yeah, this course might seem cool. That one is interesting. This is waste of time and all. My friend, you're generally speaking of data science and all. Sometimes I think some physics or chemistry formulas might be useful in future. I don't know. I'm not sure. But let's talk about the general board meeting there. Board meeting consists of many people who are wise enough, who are smart enough, who have experienced, and they know what's going on. I mean, I get you. Like you're saying, like education haven't been changed, but sometimes, right, it changed. I got like 10th class. I was supposed to write full question. I mean, we all had to write full question. I didn't see that coming. Nothing changed. And then this again curriculum change. Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't think that a single person is deciding there. Even if Prime Minister or President goes on a speech, right, there are 10s and 20s of people to check just his speech and make sure it's clear and it doesn't hurt anything and doesn't have an impact on in a bad way, but it has a good way. So that's the board meeting that happens here. So the main question to you is, we are not just talking about us here. We are talking about everyone else. Some parents might be not educated. Some children might have. It's not just, it's just not about some students or children. It's about CBSE and everything. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, it's not just about it's singular person here. It's about everyone. We are generally speaking about everyone. Now, not everyone has the luxury of being blessed with brains, okay? So some might be creativity. Some might have other talents as well. So in this way, the board has decided like we have a particular curriculum. So if one doesn't work out, one way doesn't work out, we have different ways. We can choose from that.
Atik, your time is up. Yeah, thank you. Next, I'll call upon Naprajit to present his reply stance.
So, okay, I've been getting this misconception that the flexible credit system is enjoyment in college. You don't come to college to chill, you come to learn, okay? The flexible credit system is just allowing you to choose what you learn. It allows you to choose your teachers. It allows you if you want practical experience or theoretical experience, okay? That's what the flexible credit system is, number one. Number two is, people have been, a little bit confused about giving an individual a choice. Now, I will tell you something like this. How many of you, it's a genuine question, how many of you think that our current curriculum will benefit you in the future? Professionally, practically, in real life, whatever. I'll tell you that it could be 90% of the time in the current curriculum that we are learning in our first year is just a generalized vision, okay? You don't want to learn a generalized vision. You want to learn something that will make you money, okay? Everybody talks about how India is providing serviceable servicemen and servicewomen to the world. India is employed in so many companies. Look at the employer. The employer is a college dropout. The employees are from IIT, NIT, Anna University. Yeah, the system is training slaves, not masters. That's the truth. Okay? When you talk about you come to college to learn, it all matters about what you learn. Why are the college dropouts so successful then? Why are us college students sitting here taking placement training so that we could get placed in a company while the masters are dropouts? Not even for half a year in college, half a semester in college they have spent. And we are here spending 4 years in bachelor's, 2 years for masters, another year for PhD, and we are still the slaves of dropouts. Yeah? Yes. Here's another thing that I want to highlight. You know, in a flexible system, you learn the way you want. You don't escape from your escape from your responsibilities. And if you're going to say that this system does not work, it does work. Let's take a look at MIT, not Madras Institute of Technology, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. This institute, best in the world. No one is better than this college. You can't say there's a better model than this because they're the best. They have been training individuals, talented individuals. How much time?
30 seconds.
Okay. They have been training thinkers, not sheep. They have been training thinkers. Their curriculum model is based on their curriculum model is based on solving society's problems. Take a look at their website. It says we strive to solve the issues of society. We don't strive to create sheep. We don't create sheep. They create an individual who can solve a problem, not an individual who adds to the problem. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Naprajit.
Do you know what, Naprajit? Your expressions are most likable among our audience. I had a poll about your expression. They just voted about 76% liked your expression. Bro, you need to work on movies, bro.
Okay, we'll call upon Sindhuja next to present her reply stance.
Yeah, thank you, Hindu. So I accept with your points, but see, there is only one back bench in your class and balance is middle bench and first bench. So your idea is applicable to the back benches who fail and are the CEO of the companies. But you are not seeing the middle bench and the first benches. They need some help. See, if you are a software developer and what's your work, you need to develop something using coding. So a man from ISRO pings you and says that he needs a software to calculate the speed of the rocket. Then at that time, you need to know at least the basics of physics to code, right? Or else you will lose that chance even though you are strong at coding. I will accept that physics, chemistry and EG is not important in first year, but you know at least the basics of that. Then coming to that, physics, chemistry and EG plays a vital role. You must showcase in all the stream you get. Do you agree with my points? The task ahead you is never greater than the strength within you. Doing what you like is freedom. Liking what you do is happiness. For example, we are engineers right now. So one day or the other, we will be in a state to attend the interview. At that time, of course, our higher officials will choose only the smarter one than the one who work harder. So we must know our capability to change even a tougher situation. We must make fun out of everything so that we can able to handle whatever the situation might be. But at last, we join crying, we laugh, we make memories, we make moments, we make best friends, and we leave crying. This is what it happens regardless of the curriculum. So remember how big the problem might be, but the answer will always be small. So always try to live with what you have. Then automatically you will get what you have wished for. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you. Why this reaction?
Okay,
You went to a car driver to a train driver.
Trisha is yet to join.
Do we have Trisha replacement? Right? I think Arthik Bro could come again. Kind of form that multiverse link. What do you say, bro? Can we do that Nolan level multiverse link? Blah, future, past time. Blah, blah.
We'll give you an extra speech to compensate for her. But if she comes, I'll have her speak only for her constructive speeches. Okay.
Constructive speech. Can we have deconstructive speech and all?
No, please.
Okay. Here's something that I wanted to say actually.
Wait, the debate is
Naprajit, the debate
Yeah,
is
it's-
about to end now. I think we
Yeah,
should
Yeah,
add
no,
your
bro, we
votes.
have 13 minutes
Okay.
of time. I can
Hold on.
definitely
Let
say
me
this
share.
Naprajit.
to my friends here in the chat or whoever is still here paying attention
Bro.
to us talk.
Naprajit, please,
Thank
one
you.
second. I still have to conclude the debate. So, from your side, I'll have Atik to conclude the debate right now for your side. Please summarize and highlight your points and end the debate. Then I'll proceed with my reply. Okay. Oh, Trisha's here.
Trisha has joined the room.
Okay.
There comes the last main villain.
We'll have Trisha talk about her speech once she is in.
Yes.
Trisha, you're ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
fighting
start
the right
So,
way.
am I?
construct.
Trisha,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
background has changed. That is so nice.
Yeah, because I changed the room.
Yeah. Okay.
You
You
could
can
have done
start
that a
with
long
your
before.
constructive
Why
speech.
didn't you do that?
You can start with your constructive speech, Trisha. You'll have 4 minutes or so for that. After that, when you're beginning to start your reply speech, let me know that you're starting your reply speech. Okay?
I think she got stuck again.
I think so.
Sir, we come again.
Okay, we'll wait for another couple minutes, and then after, we'll either have Atik or
It's gonna be like that moment, right? Someone's gonna mute me.
okay. I guess we'll have Atik to conclude his side's debate. Atik, go ahead.
Hail, king of monsters, Godzilla.
Yeah, your time starts now.
Yeah, so wait, how many minutes do I have?
2
Bro, you
minutes.
just have 2 minutes, bro. Otherwise, you will come
About 2
again and say that you have to wrap it in 30
About
seconds.
2 minutes, not
Finish between 2 minutes, or else you will come again. It's your
not-
wish.
It's not a rigid 2 minutes, but do conclude for her side. All right. Yeah.
So I have to conclude, like, yeah. So, like, speaking, like, yeah, I get your ideas and all, like, you're standing, like, yeah, we want freedom, yeah. I understand that. But here's the thing, right? We are not, like, we don't just go for, we just go after our desires, most of us, if we say. Like, none of us like have some real purpose in our life, and we don't see this world clearly and all. And then that's why and then we think that if we like the thing, if we like the course, we just go upon it. If we find it interesting, we go upon it. If friends suggest, we go upon it. It goes like that, on and on and on, because of others or because of us or because of someone else. But here's the thing, right? If we have a common curriculum till some point of our some point of our life, right? It's going to be very useful for everyone. I'm not just speaking for ourselves. Like, yeah, I get you. You guys are smart. God has blessed us with
30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's good. But not everyone are like us, right? They need some thing, right? They're so confused out there. You see the people around the world, so busy, so confused. They don't understand anything. That's why I find this common curriculum, like, we have enough freedom for this curriculum, like, completely good. Because sometimes if he doesn't get clicked in one way, right, he has numerous other various ways so that he could get clicked in. That's the point. Think about others, not just about us. Thank you.
All right. For my side, I will be concluding the debate. Team opposition, I have one question for you. Roses are red, violets are blue. All through our speeches, where were you? Because from the beginning of the debate, we have been stressing that this our model does not propose freedom to chill in the campus. We are giving freedom only to pick curriculum and to pick curriculum only. But what did you guys do? You said you only accused the students of being irresponsible throughout the debate across 10 different minutes. Now let me summarize what our team opposition has presented today. They told you that we are giving you freedom to misuse, but no, that's not what we said. We are only giving you freedom to pick the subject and to To hold the accountability of the students is why we have faculty in the council that will guide the council to pick their courses. But the opposition was blind to that. Moreover, they'll tell you that you don't need to study, that you need to study subjects that you don't need your life just because it's a burden. And burden is good. Is wasting the 4 most important years of your life good? Is missing out on the real world good? Is it? Burden is not what drives progress. Passion is. Moreover, the opposition speakers totally agreed to us when they said that physics, EG, and chemistry are irrelevant and we do not need them to study. And furthermore, Speaker 3 quoted that we are giving, Speaker 3 actually made an assumption that we are giving you freedom that is enough to misuse. But they didn't follow through, or nor did they show where the freedom was, where the freedom to misuse was. But we have highlighted properly that we give you only the freedom to pick your own subjects and ensure that you will get it. And I have no more comments to talk. Comments about the Speaker 3 because there was no content after this. Safe to say that I'm still looking for the real deal. So, in conclusion,
Thank you so much. Please wrap up within 30 seconds. Please. 2 minutes, whatever.
Yeah. A triangle has 3 sides. A triangle has 3 sides. A coin has 2. But this debate has only 1 side. And that's team proposition. We have shown you that our model of curriculum is perfectly for the student. It is the power for the student to change their future. Supremely proud to propose. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Indija, for wrapping up.
Yeah, I
Thank
guess
you so much.
that concludes today's debate. I'd like
Thanks,
to propose a vote of thanks for all the people that made this event possible. First of all, I'd like to thank our college, Chennai Institute of Technology, and Sendil sir for providing us a very beautiful platform to showcase our skills. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the faculty who have been helping us to be here in the first place. Thirdly, I'd also like to thank my fellow debaters who have spent their time and contributed to the putting up a good debate. Thank you.
Thanks between friends and all. It's usually
Yeah,
safe.
we would like to
I
thank
would also
everyone in the chat who has
most
stayed here.
important.
There's 100 people who have been listening to us. So thank you for taking your time to listen to us. Thank you for taking your time to listen to our points, to our views, and thank you in general.
Thank you
Can I
for
have the final
giving me
touch?
both your times. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Can I have the final touch?